So yesterday I was watching the Padres face off against the Dodgers, and I noticed that a fan threw something onto the field, and I was squinting real hard because I didn't have my glasses on, and then when I figured out what it was, that's bad. Now, real quick, before we talk about the actual recap, I do want to pose that question one final time. I want to get the consensus of the community. What do we make of Fernando Tatis Jr.? Should we forgive him and move forward, or is he always going to be considered a cheater? Let me know in the comments. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. The Yankees, I'm going to say this right now. They might have had their worst loss of my entire life. Like, they actually had an embarrassing all-around performance from the team itself all the way up to the management. The Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago White Sox are still fighting for the final wildcard spot, and Juan Soto, he was out there bat flipping after walks. Yes, because that's what Juan Soto does, and I love him for it. Remember, guys, for the final month of the season, every time we get a brand new subscriber, I will be donating 1 penny to Stand Up to Cancer. We're already at $10 after just 2 days, so if we can keep this up over the span of a full month, that's a lot of money going to a great cause. So if you have not subscribed, today's the perfect day to do so. And without further ado, let's talk about the games from yesterday. Look at Sean Bouchard. That's his first career home run, and then there's another one for a rookie. Spencer Steer also collects his first career home run in the same game. He was acquired in the Tyler Mahle trade. I was trying to remember where he was from or where his name sounded familiar, and that's exactly where it was from. Jake Fraley goes yard to tie it up in the 7th inning, and Jonathan India's infield single walks it off. So rookie Spencer Steer has his first career home run. He scores the game-winning run. So a little fun W and a look into the future if you're a Reds fan. Nick Gordon yet again had a huge RBI extra base hit. This time he drives in 2. Yasmani Grandal had a big day as well for Chicago. He cut the lead in half on a single and eventually tied it up on a home run in the 8th inning. He's hitting 207 with a 69, not very nice OPS plus, but that's the best part about sports. There's always tomorrow. Anyways, things got a little bit spicy after Andrew Vaughn was hit by Jorge Lopez. Now, I don't think that this was on purpose, but both managers, they were screaming at each other. It was a big series for both teams, so I get that tensions are high. And here's the walk-off. Wait, apparently it hit the knob of Jose Abreu's bat, so it was called a foul ball. Ultimately, ended up not mattering as Jose beat out the double play. The White Sox, they walk it off, and they have now won 3 games in a row. So if you take a look at the wild card, yeah, things are going to get very interesting very soon. Now, if we talk about the Central, that's a whole different ball game because Chicago can improve to just 3 games back of Cleveland if Luis Castillo can carve up the Guardians, and that's exactly what happened. Now, prior to the game, I do want to show that Aaron Savali and Zach Plesac were both put on the IL. That is horrific timing. Zach Plesac, though, he's out with a broken hand after punching the ground in his latest start against the Mariners after he gave up a home run to Jake Lamb. He punched the ground, and yeah, he fractured a metacarpal. The rookie Cody Morris was sent out there for a spot start, and Mitch Haniger and Cal Raleigh, they welcomed him to the big leagues with RBI extra base hits. Morris, he was out after 2 innings, but Mitch Haniger and Cal, they didn't care. That's a second RBI double for Mitch, and then there's a second home run for Cal Raleigh. Cal now has 21 home runs and an almost 120 OPS plus. That is amazing for a catcher. Castillo was Castillo, 6 shutout innings, 4 strikeouts. He has a 2.39 ERA with the Mariners. They should definitely talk about an extension with him. So if we take a look at the Central, yeah, this is going to be a dogfight. I am losing years off my life by the second because Cleveland, they've lost 3 in a row. They don't have any starting pitchers really now after Tristan McKenzie and Shane Bieber. So I don't know what's going to happen. All right, so let's go ahead and get this Yankees game out the way, shall we? So Benny left this game after taking a mean cut. The x-rays were negative, so he should be all right. But again, this was the worst game of the year, in my opinion, for the Yankees because it started off with the injury, and then the Rays, yeah, they did not care about the Yankees and their recent woes. They wanted to make sure that they added insult to injury. So David Peralta, we just saw, he gave Jeffrey Springs a lead, and there's 7 punch-outs and nearly 6 shutout innings. He has a 2.62 ERA now. Talking about Jeffrey Springs, Christian Bethancourt pimped one in the 7th inning, 425 feet, my goodness. The Yankees bullpen completely forgot how to play baseball. They walked in 2 with the bases loaded to make it 7-0, and Manuel Margot knocked in the final 2 runs as the Yankees are now in full-blown panic mode in the Bronx. So Tampa Bay, they're only 5 games back of first place after winning 4 in a row. The Yankees have now been shut out 6 times over the last month, which is 1 ahead of Cleveland. Cleveland's been shut out 5 times, the Yankees 6 times. And in all honesty, they deserve to lose this game because they call up Oswald Peraza, they benched him, and then they gave him his debut, losing 9-0 against a guy that wasn't very good. He did strike out. I just thought that was disrespectful. You're treating him like a journeyman and not a top prospect who is too valuable to trade, and then you make him seem like the most invaluable player I've ever seen. Just absolutely embarrassing from the Yankees and their front office. Now, I hope that Ke'Bryan Hayes is all right because he left this game after hurting his shoulder trying to make the play. I respect it, but sometimes you just got to let the ball get past you. Santiago Espinal has not been in a recap in quite some time, but there he is driving in 2 for Alek Manoah, who is out of his mind. He carved up the Pirates for 7 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts, and check this out. Since making his debut last year, he has a 2.79 ERA. That is fantastic. This guy's going to be a workhorse for the next few years, at least I think a decade in my opinion. Bo Bichette smoked a 2-run shot. He now has 18 home runs, 33 doubles, so the counting numbers are starting to look a whole lot better. I think the on-base percentage needs some work, though, so the Jays, they went easy. Gunnar Henderson made his home debut in front of 14,000 people. I don't know if it was the weather or if they miscounted, but I feel like that's wrong. Either way, if you're an Orioles fan, please go to the games. Gunnar Henderson grabbed a double in front of those fans, and then he scores on a Robinson Chirinos extra base hit. Mountcastle made it 2-0, and it didn't stay that way as Tony Kemp clutched up. He ties it at 2 runs apiece. Then we head to the 8th where Ali Rutschman, his presence alone was too much to bear. He gets walked with the bases loaded, and Jorge Mateo clutched up for I think like the 10th or 11th time. He is so good late in the game with runners on base. Baltimore has won 3 in a row, and they are 1.5 games back of the wild card because every time they win, the Jays win. Every time they lose, the Jays lose. So it's just kind of stagnant at 1.5 games back. Xander Bogaerts went the other way for an RBI double off of Keuchel, and Keuchel left another mistake pitch to Hernandez, and the Red Sox end up with 4 runs, I think, in the first 4 innings. Devers made it 5 runs off of BP pitcher Dallas Keuchel, and JD Martinez, along with Hernandez, all but ended this guy's career. That is another 7 spot off of Dallas Keuchel. That is 3 consecutive starts with 7 runs allowed. He now has given up 62 earned runs in 60 innings. No offense, but I don't know how he still has a job. Connor Wong got into this one for his first career home run, and he admired it. He kind of pimped it. So when you hit your first home run over the Green Monster, you should enjoy it. So I have no problem with that. Eddie, Mr. Eddie Two Bags, they call him, Eduardo Escobar drilled a 2-run blast, and we fast forward to the 6th. After both teams, they were able to put up 3 runs each. Polar Bear Pete, he has been snapping bats left and right due to his struggles, but he finally connected on that one. Tomas Nido, he singled in another, and Brandon Nimmo's 3-bagger was the final dagger. The Mets are 85-48, good for 37 games, over 500. Travis d'Arnaud, another pitch. I love using that guy's last name as a verb. This time he sent it 402 feet into the Atlanta night sky, but then rookie Vaughn Grissom beat that. He hit one 409 feet, and both of those guys were outdone by another rookie, Michael Harris. That's 15 home runs. Atlanta literally has 3 Rookie of the Year candidates between Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, and not so much Vaughn Grissom, but Grissom has been insane. They also have an MVP candidate in Austin Riley, who now has 34 home runs. Travis d'Arnaud went yard again, giving him 16 in just 86 games. The Braves, they can beat you in so many ways. They are absolutely legit. The Cardinals are another team that can beat you in a lot of ways. They get some help from their superstar MVP candidate, Nolan Arenado. There he is. He saves a run. Tyler O'Neill drives in 2. He's been a monster over the last, let's just say, month. Jordan Montgomery, he might not remember what it feels like to give up runs because as a Cardinal, there's 6 more shutout frames. He has a 1.47 ERA in his first 40 innings with St. Louis. Harrison Bader better be prime Bernie Williams when he comes back because that has been a terrible trade. Jordan Hicks, he struck out the side in the 7th. You have Nootbaar and Edman connecting on multi-RBI home runs. This team is sick. Nootbaar has 11 home runs and a 140 OPS plus. Tommy Edman has 12 home runs and an insane 5.5 WAR. Again, the Cardinals, they're one of the better overall teams in baseball. Same with the Dodgers, and they were facing off against the Padres. Juan Soto, he bat flipped a walk, his second walk of the night, and Manny Machado seized the moment. He belted a massive 2-run home run. Manny now has 34 doubles, 25 home runs, a wild 162 OPS plus, and he now has a career 50.8 WAR. He just turned 30. He is going to walk into the Hall of Fame if he keeps this up for 2 or 3 more years. Brandon Drury hit a 2-run home run as well, and there's Yu Darvish with 3,000 strikeouts between Japan and Major League Baseball. I can't believe that he debuted a decade ago. Feels like just yesterday he was on the Rangers. Anyways, speaking of a former Ranger, Profar hit his 13th home run on a 3-run missile. He now has an impressive 3.1 WAR on the season. Yu ends up throwing 7 shutout innings, which means he has gone 6+ in 17 consecutive starts. The Padres, they win big, and the Dodgers, they're at the point in the season where they're just trying to stay healthy. They've hit a slight bump in the road, but I think that they'll get back on track fairly soon. The Phillies, they either blow teams out or they get blown out themselves, and tonight was the latter. Peterson and Crawford, they both single in an RBI, and Longoria, he doubled home Jock Peterson. And speaking of Jock, there's another Jock splash, a splash hit into McCovey Cove for Jock Peterson. He has 21 home runs now. San Francisco walked 3 separate times with the bases loaded to make it 11-0. And honestly, let's just talk about Alex Cobb because Yikes. Yeah, the Phillies were just, yikes. Alex Cobb is having a career resurgence over the last few seasons. He did it with the Angels last year. That is 7 strikeouts over 7 shutout frames. He now has a 2.88 FIP over his last 200 innings. That is impressive. Moving on over to an AL West matchup, we have the Angels and the Astros. Jeremy Pena laces an RBI double over everyone in Altuve. He's going to try and beat Mike Trout, and he does, so Bregman gets the RBI sac fly. The Halos pitching staff completely imploded in the 5th inning as Yuli Gurriel and rookie Yainer Diaz, they both took walks with the bases loaded. Lance McCullers, he struck out 7 while only allowing 2 earned runs. Not his best day though, because he allowed 4 walks and 6 base hits. Either way, the Houston bullpen saved him. They allowed 1 hit between 4 different relievers. Montero, he struck out 2. He has 11 saves on the year. The Diamondbacks, they're trying to grab back-to-back wins over the Brewers. They're down by 1 going into the 5th when Emmanuel Rivera ties it on a double. He's been a run-producing and extra base machine for the Diamondbacks, and same with Jake McCarthy. He drives in the go-ahead run, and Ian Kennedy, even at the ripe age of 63, I don't know why I've made that joke multiple times this year, but he's actually 37. He grabs his 66th save as a relief pitcher. He also has 104 Ws as a starting pitcher. So there you go, Ian Kennedy. I feel like he still probably could be a decent starter, but he is just racking up saves as a relief pitcher. And last but not least, Willie Castro belted a home run, and so did Javier Baez. I need Javier Baez to turn it up for the final month just for baseball's sake, because check out his stats. He has 12 home runs and 24 doubles, which I guess is good, but he has an awful 83 OPS plus. That makes him one of the most overpaid players in recent memory. Michael Taylor played spoiler for a moment as he tied it on a 2-run laser, only to have that lead completely disappear yet again. Harold Castro singled in the rookie Ryan Kreidler as Gregory Soto wraps it up for his 24th save. So guys, that's going to do it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it until the end, leave a like. And remember, every single new subscriber that we get, we're going to be making a donation to Stand Up to Cancer. So send it to your friends, family, all that good stuff. But thank you for watching, and enjoy the web gems.
The Braves, they've got a tough schedule ahead of them too. Ground ball here, sliding stopper, Swanson to first.
Look how he finishes it off with a strong throw. Right on the money.
Hit hard to left on a line. Kay plays it well, running for second. Pollock is out at second base. A perfect throw from the left field corner.
Some chain work last night. There's a little looper into right field. Santander coming hard, dives and makes the catch.
Really good jump. Never hesitates. Great read on the ball. Otherwise, you don't catch it. And the other thing is, I mean, just think about it. You're an outfitter. You got to make a decision, because
there's the payoff and a line drive. Oh, by Baez. That's how it's done right there.
He's ready to go, and he gets perfect timing. Extends his left arm out.